Today, official Kremlin propaganda actively uses the fact that the USSR was involved in the victory over Nazism to shape the ideology of modern Russia as a land of heroic people whose mission is to fight evil.
Они спасли Отечество, жизнь будущих поколений, освободили Европу, защитили мир.
Did the Stalinist regime genuinely pursue the goal of defending peace? Over time, historical discourse has progressively shifted towards examining the actual role of the USSR in the events of 1939. While the world acknowledges the USSR's crucial role in the victory over Nazism, it's important to recognize that this contribution does not absolve the totalitarian communist regime of its crimes. But the leader of a country whose greatness is based only on the legends of the USSR's heroic past dismissively says.
Ну, понимаете, это же недалекие люди, которые читать, писать не умеют. Несут всякую фигню там в Европарламенте по поводу одинаковой ответственности Гитлера и Сталина. Чушь это собачья просто.
To dispel the last doubts and put an end to the Kremlin's demagoguery, a brief 5-minute immersion into the context of the mutually beneficial partnership between Stalin and Hitler is all it takes. On the 23rd of August 1939, just a week before the outbreak of the Second World War, two totalitarian regimes, the German and the Soviet, signed the Non-Aggression Pact between Germany and the USSR. This document is also known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, after the names of the foreign ministers of the two countries. Beyond the commitment to resolve conflicts amicably, the document included a secret protocol. Essentially, it was an agreement for a joint assault on Europe. The USSR and Nazi Germany had signed a joint plan for the future, or, in more mundane terms, a marriage contract. The secret protocol outlined the territorial division of Poland between the dictators. It also designated Finland, Estonia and Latvia within Stalin's sphere of interest, with Lithuania falling under Hitler's influence. Shortly after the pact was signed, on the 1st of September 1939, Germany attacked Poland. On the 17th of September, USSR troops invaded Poland unhindered by Nazi troops. And on the 22nd of September, the totalitarian allies held a joint parade in Brest to celebrate the conquest of new territory. The occupation of Poland by two totalitarian regimes concluded with the signing of the Treaty of Friendship and Frontiers between the USSR and Germany, which established a new border within Polish territory. This treaty complemented the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact signed on August 23rd. After dealing with Poland, the newly formed partnership persisted in tearing Europe apart, sticking to the terms of the pact they had signed. While Hitler's troops were conquering Western Europe, the Red Army invaded Finland, marking the beginning of the Soviet-Finnish War. For attacking Finland, the USSR was sanctioned and expelled from the League of Nations, the prototype of the modern UN. But much like what we saw in 2022, in 1939 diplomacy failed to stop the aggressor. In 1940, the USSR staged coups in Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania, following the same scenario. First, issuing ultimatums demanding the entry of an unlimited contingent of Soviet troops. Second, holding elections in which only Soviet-approved candidates could take part. Third, declaring the accession to the USSR. These events took place under the control of the Red Army, which was already present on the territory of these states. This bears a striking resemblance to the staged elections and referendums that Russia is conducting nowadays in the occupied Ukrainian territories. In 1940, threatening a full-scale military invasion of the Kingdom of Romania, the USSR occupied the lands of Bessarabia and northern Bukovina. The two regimes managed by Stalin and Hitler were not only similar in their appetite for conquest. First, each had a single leader at the top. Second, there was a single political party around that leader. Third, ideological justification for crimes against the independence of other countries and peoples. Fourth, total use of propaganda. Fifth, terror as a tool of power. Sixth, secret police as a means of controlling the people. Seventh, the desire to build empires. Eighth, ideological youth organizations, Hitler Youth and Pioneers. Ninth, a great love of parades and mass events. 10. The use of concentration camps and deportations. 10 out of 10. These two guys certainly had a lot to talk about. Even after the war ended, Stalin continued what Hitler hadn't finished. The countries the Red Army had supposedly liberated were eventually occupied by the USSR and annexed to Stalin's empire. He set up a dictatorship there and deprived them of their freedom for half a century. Stalin also executed those whom Hitler had failed to kill. A notable example is Witold Pilecki, a Polish hero who actively fought against both totalitarian regimes and was executed by the Soviet authorities in 1948. Why bring up the past, you may ask? The unpunished crimes of the USSR are leading to a repetition of events in the modern world. In 1945, the USSR was able to do what Hitler had failed to do: build a totalitarian empire by suppressing the freedoms of nations for decades. And Putin today is trying to carry on the traditions of his totalitarian predecessors using their methods. Cult of personality, dominance of propaganda, assassination of political opponents, repression of dissidents, and imperialism, where neighboring countries become victims. American historian Timothy Snyder compares Russia's current blockade of grain supplies from Ukraine to Stalin's Holodomor, an artificial famine that killed millions. While history cannot be changed, we must prevent its darkest chapters from being repeated. The crimes of the communist dictatorship must be condemned, and their perpetrators must be judged accordingly. This will ensure that anyone thinking of committing crimes against humanity will know that they will not go unpunished.